Yes, she has a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. She sat there and could have said nothing. We had a witness this week who did that. We had a witness this week who said nothing. She didn't.
The record will show from the very beginning, when she was summoned to this committee, she resisted, and she invoked her Fifth Amendment right. She came here under subpoena, a partisan-issued subpoena, I might add, not supported by our side, against her will. And she made a statement and then refused to answer any questions and was dismissed by the chairman, properly so.
Well, members of a House committee hashed it out over whether IRS official Lois Lerner waived her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent during a May 22nd hearing. But even though there was a disagreement, a vote among the members showed a majority thought she had, in fact, waived that right. Here to weigh in now is Congressman Louie Gohmert of Texas. We're always honored to have you. Thanks,
Always love being here. Thanks.
So, did she?
Well, it sure sounded like it to me. Now, as a judge handling all kinds of felony cases, I would advise people, you have the right to remain silent, but if you waive that right, if you begin to testify at all, you've waived that right. You cannot claim the Fifth Amendment at that point. And at that point, if you decide not to answer questions, I'll put you in jail till you finish answering questions. It's that serious. You don't start talking unless you intend to waive your Fifth Amendment right.
You can't come halfway, because Lois Lerner showed up and basically said, I'm going to tell you my side of the story, which is I did nothing wrong.
She said all the exculpatory things.
Yes.
Yes, I did nothing wrong. I'm totally innocent. Everything I did was proper, and now I'm taking the Fifth. Oh, no, you're not. You just testified before this committee. You did nothing wrong. Now you'll answer cross-examination.
But the committee allowed her to do that. I watched it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I would allow people to do that as a judge. But they're not in a criminal setting, so they're under no obligation to read her Fifth Amendment rights. This isn't a criminal investigation yet. They get there. So they had no obligation to cut her off. But when she starts saying, I did nothing wrong, I'm totally innocent, I believe she's waived it. I think, Trey, I believe the committee is right. But now you had a good example on Wednesday. Our friend Mr. Roseman, the deputy IRS director, who was throwing the biggest contract in IRS history to, gee, crony capitalism comes to mind. But anyway, to his good buddy that had the military disability because he turned his ankle in a prep school getting ready to go to military school. And as a result, he's going to get a $500 million contract. Well, Roseman came in. He didn't say, I'm not guilty, I didn't do anything wrong. He knew better than that. He had a better lawyer. And so he came in and said, hey, taking the Fifth. I'm not talking. So that's how you do that.
Is there a chance that Lois Lerner will be hauled back before the committee?
Oh, yeah. Now that they have said she waived her Fifth Amendment right, the next step is to subpoena her, to have her come back. And then at that point, if she refuses, since they're not a criminal court, then they'll have to find her in contempt. There'll be a vote on whether or not she's in contempt. And then if she is, then it goes to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. And, gee, aren't they always helpful to us instead of the Justice
Not always.
Department?
So I want to get your reaction because I can't resist. These are some items purchased with IRS credit cards.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Okay. Let's put this up on the screen. Nerf footballs. Thomas the Tank Engine rubber wristbands. The world's largest crossword puzzle. Stovetop hats. Kazoos. We could go on and on and on. The IRS is asking for an extra $1 billion from Congress this year. In light of this, should they get it?
Sean, I'm a big fan of Nerf footballs. In law school, I purchased 50 kazoos. We passed them out at football games. We were our own band. We were extraordinary. A kazoo band. But not the IRS. That's not their job. If they want to go buy kazoos, buy them with their own money. You know, it is absurd what the IRS has been doing. And, Tucker, it is time, as Arthur Laffer says, as Steve Forbes says, so many have been saying for years, get rid of the IRS. Let's go to a flat tax, some say a fair tax. But as Arthur was telling me a couple of weeks ago, look, you can have a flat tax get rid of the IRS and not have an agency that has all the authority and the scary ability of the IRS. Just have an auditing agency without the teeth that the IRS has.
Raise more money and do it more fairly. But
I tell you what, though, in the old days, you'd take a chance if you confront the IRS about anything, even if you're in Congress.
That's true.
So it's bold what's going on, but it has to go on. We got to clean this mess up.
Congressman Gohmert, thanks a lot for joining us.
Always good to be with you, Tucker. Thank you.